the leader of one of America's most notorious far-right groups, arrested for burning a BLM flag and sentenced to jail.
I got 5 months in jail and 3 years probation because of who I am, not because of the crime I committed.
But another investigation hangs over him.
I am going to fully cooperate with the subpoena of the January 6th committee. Somebody once asked me if I felt sympathy for these lawmakers that were in there, and my answer has always and will always be, I have no sympathy for those lawmakers that were in there.
Just 1 week after his release, Enrique Tarrio speaks out.
I'm not going to tread on eggshells.
Enrique, hey.
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 Hey, good to see you again, man.
Good to see you. How are you?
Pretty good.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. It has.
A lot has been happening since then.
I'd like to think a lot has happened. I'd like to think a lot has happened at this point. So.
And indeed, a lot has happened. I first met Enrique Tarrio over a year ago, the chairman of the Proud Boys, a far-right group that has become known for their violent protest, their hatred of the far left, and more recently, their role in the January the 6th attack on the Capitol. Tarrio was charged with burning a Black Lives Matter flag that was torn down from a historic black church in Washington, D.C. on the 12th of December 2020. He was sentenced to 5 months in jail and released a week ago.
It's a little messy right now.
Looks like a proper studio.
Yeah. It's where I do my podcasts. I haven't done one in a very long time.
Tarrio believes his time in jail has changed him.
In my 4 months there, I think I've gotten a lot more political than I was before. My views on things have changed.
In what way?
So I had a lot of time to read. I had a lot of time to think, to kind of look at myself and my flaws as a person.
You said one thing that was really interesting, that in those 4 months in the prison, you've become much more political.
Yes.
You were already a massively well-known figure across the country for your political views.
I grew up political. I think now I just have a broader view on things.
Just before Tarrio entered prison, he posed for a photo with a lighter held to the Capitol, smiling, and told people to never stop protesting, to hold power to account, and never back down. But it was protesting the election that landed him in jail. I'm interested to find out whether his views on Trump's 2020 loss have changed.
I can't tell you if the election was stolen or not. I can't. And that's a problem. I should be able to tell you, hey, the election's not stolen, or the election's stolen. The problem is, those people that think that the election are stolen, I understand them. Because a government, the United States government, has meddled in the elections of almost any country outside of well, here, look, South America, Israel, all over Europe. So is it crazy to think that the United States government would meddle in its own elections? Like, these are people, and there's a big swath of Americans that think this, right? Why not listen to them? Stop demonizing them. Because you ask me if I've become more of an extremist, or do I see myself as that? I go, no, but a way that you radicalize somebody is that you shut them down.
But Joe Biden is the 46th president of the United States. He was sworn in. It's been a year exactly today.
I've accepted it. I've been accepted that fact.
But it's not true, is it, that everyone alongside you or outside of your circle, not everyone was ready to accept the results and think that, okay, Joe Biden is the president?
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I'd say probably 99% of the people that were out there had that belief. And I respect that belief.
So right now we're on the way. I have to go do my fingerprints at the police station for my probation. They have to like take a picture of me, do fingerprints, and then they give me like a little paper and I take that to my probation.
During that time that you spent in jail, have you made decisions about how to move forward from now on? First off, are you going to stay on as the head of the Proud Boys?
As far as the Proud Boys go, I won't be staying as the chairman of the organization. I'll be stepping down soon. I'm never going to leave the organization. It's an organization I love. And if the guys would want to have a spokesperson, I won't rule that out. I think, yes, you'll see more Proud Boys. I think you'll see more people from the movement turn their sights on local elections. It's already happening. It's been happening. We're seeing it across the country.
How about you? What's your plan?
I won't rule out a 2024 run. I won't rule that out.
The US House of Representatives Select Committee to investigate the January 6 attack on the Capitol has issued a subpoena to Enrique Tarrio, alleging he and the Proud Boys played a direct role in planning the events of January the 6th.
Are you going to cooperate with the January 6 committee?
I am going to fully cooperate with the subpoena of the January 6 committee. But I will tell you one thing. How do you defeat tyranny? You smile in its face. I don't want to hide from them. I want to look them in the eye as they're asking me these mundane questions, and I want to smile and give them an answer.
And what's it going to be?
We'll see when that time comes.
He also made comments on encrypted messaging channels, instructing fellow Proud Boys to show up.
So it is December 29th, 2020 on Parler. You called on Proud Boys to turn out in record numbers on January 6th, but this time with a twist. And you would not be wearing your traditional black and yellow, you would be incognito, and you would be spread across downtown DC in smaller teams. So what should I understand from this message to your fellow members? Why should you be incognito? Why with a twist? And what was going to happen on January 6th? What was your plan?
So, said simply, that wasn't a message to the Proud Boys. I don't use Parler. Parler's not used to talk to the Proud Boys. We have other communication methods. That was a message to the media and to Antifa. So I'll break down the post. One, we're going to turn out in record numbers, which is true. We turned out in record numbers. Usually we'll hit the streets of DC with anywhere between 500 Proud Boys and 1,500 Proud Boys. That day, we're probably about like, I'd say 40, 45 Proud Boys in attendance for January 6th. The reason why we went incognito was because on December 12th, 4 of my guys got stabbed because they were wearing that black and yellow, those black and yellow shirts. So I wanted to keep them safe, and we wanted to not dress in our typical colors.
But do you not agree with the fact that some of your actions or messages in the lead up to the January 6th riot on Capitol Hill, it gave the impression to people that you were up to something?
I have never, on my platform, I've never called for violence. I've never called for the storming of any building. I never even, in a private level, I never, any of that, said any of that. So if they want to hit me because I'm spicy, guilty. But other than that, in that message, there's no calls to violence. There's calls to dress in regular shirts, God forbid. And on January 6th, we're just looking to have a good time and get drunk.
Have you ever been involved in any kind of planning of any large-scale protest on that day on Capitol Hill?
On Capitol Hill, absolutely not. We're just planning on going to DC. I think people are overestimating my ability and the ability of the Proud Boys. I don't think that they understand that the Proud Boys are just a group of a bunch of drunks with a high social media following.
So even that little drunk group of men can launch an attack on Capitol Hill.
There was all sorts of people that went into the Capitol. All sorts of people that went into the Capitol. The mob mentality took over. A giant group of people were walking in a single direction, and everybody just went in because they thought it was okay. I don't think it was okay. I don't think that they should have gone in.
Those pictures from Capitol Hill that day were pretty shocking. As an American, what did you feel?
So I was shocked too. I didn't think that that was even possible. To storm the U.S. Capitol. But I'm not binary on the situation. I can tell you that those images were shocking and that I don't condone the violence. But somebody once asked me if I felt sympathy for these lawmakers that were in there, and my answer has always and will always be, I have no sympathy for those lawmakers that were in there.
So they kind of deserved what was coming.
I'm not saying that they deserve what was coming. I'm saying I am not sympathetic to their cause. I'm not saying that they deserved it. I'm saying I'm not sympathetic to their pain that day. I didn't cause them their pain.
There were those in that crowd that shouted, "Hang Mike Pence."
It's wrong. You shouldn't say that. You don't say, hey, you should hang.
Where do you draw the line?
I believe that that's a threat. That's a direct threat. Hang Mike Pence. There's a person, there's an action. I believe that that line was crossed a long time ago when you say hang Mike Pence.
Where is your line?
My line is nonviolence and no threats.
So far, 34 Proud Boys have been indicted over the January the 6th attack.
You got dozens of Proud Boys who have been indicted and who are spending their days, as we speak, in jail. And as the chairman of the Proud Boys, do you not think from this day onwards you're going to be more cautious with your rhetoric, what you tell your fellow members to do?
I wouldn't say that I'd be more cautious. I think I've been doing this actually pre-election and during the time of like that November, December, I've been saying that, we got to focus on the local stuff. We got to stop doing national stuff and we got to focus more on local stuff. And I don't think I have to be cautious. I think I have to tell people to be more active in other places, in a local community or whatnot. But I'm not gonna tread on eggshells.
January 6th, your incarceration, all of this that's happened in the past year. What's your main takeaway?
I think my main takeaway is the strategy. In order to make those changes that we preach, the strategy has to change. I think that the way that we protest, some of the messaging, as a whole, has to change. I think we need to focus on like local elections a lot more. The takeaway is we got to get the momentum that we've built. I'm not talking about January 6th. The momentum that we've built and turn it into something good. And I think that we need to start listening, both sides need to start listening to each other more, or else we're going to just sit here and endlessly call each other terrorists.